Married at First Sight, Episode 3. All our couples are married. Everybody seems something. And that is sort of where we stand right now. Tonight's episode really primarily focused on two couples, and that was Amelia and Bennett and Christina and Henry. I just kind of want to start off with Christina and Henry. That was awkward. Like, meeting someone for the first time, awkward. Going on a blind date with somebody, awkward. Getting married at first sight and Henry being one of the people, oh my lord. That speech he gave at the wedding, like his vows, my jaw was just dropped. It was on the floor, like what was going on? He was saying stuff like, I vow that if we make tacos, I will remember to get all the ingredients for tacos. And she's saying it in pure monotone, no emotion whatsoever. And they already established that he's not really an eye contact person, but he's making like zero eye contact. And it was just, oh my. Easily the worst wedding vows I've ever heard in my entire life. Henry, you seem like a nice guy, but I was not prepared for this level of awkward. And then you mix in Henry's dad. And like the speech Henry's dad gave was equally terrible. It was very clear they have vastly different personalities. Henry the Third and Henry the Fourth, I guess, is their names, to make it even better. And like his dad just gave this atrocious speech. Like, I don't even know what he was going on about. He was saying like, I don't know what he was saying. It was terrible. Henry and Christina, terrible start to that relationship. And then we throw in Henry's friends. Henry's friends, all women, at least from what we saw, all women, and they all seem to have a little bit of a crush on Henry. They possibly have all dated or at least gone on a date with Henry. And there was like a little bit of drunken cattiness going on there. Like especially, I think her name was Kristen. She was not happy with seeing her backup plan get married to somebody else, because like we know that's what's going on there. Kristen is keeping Henry available for herself as her backup plan when other things don't work out, and it came off. Well, let's just go with the awkward. It came off real awkward. Like, you're at your friend's wedding, like you don't be mad that they're getting married. Like, at least pretend that you're happy about it. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh, and there's some dogs barking to make this video even a little bit awkward. I'm not liking what I've seen from Christina and Henry so far, and I'm gonna slot them pretty far down on my list of couples that I'm excited for and that I think are gonna make it. Obviously, a lot can change between now and decision day. And, at some point, Henry's going to have to open up at least a little bit. Like, he can't be any more closed off and awkward. Like, oh, their conversation. It was like, so do you have a family? And then he, like, when she gave a response, like, he's just like, oh, I did not think this through. I did not think about, like, what happens when I ask somebody a question and they give an answer back. Like, I didn't think the conversation beyond that. Oh, Henry. Let's move on. Amelia and Bennett, instant new favorite couple. I love them. I'm in love with them before they're in love with each other. They are just so much better than I even imagined. Like, I was a little bit like, yeah, they seem pretty good together, but I don't know, like, is everything gonna work out? And then you see them come together, like, we're left with that cliffhanger, like, oh, I know him. And then the story happens to be, oh, we met at a party, but I was in a relationship. We had a conversation. Like, that was it. everything about that couple seemed amazing. Seemed like the families meshed, the friends meshed. Amelia and Bennett clicked immediately, and like they seemed like a real couple at their own wedding, and so refreshing to see on this show because so many of the couples are just so awkward all the time. And yeah, I got just awkward on the brain from Henry. He's infected me. Like I'm starting to feel awkward now just because I've seen Henry on screen. Okay, back on track. Amelia and Bennett. I just love everything about them and can't wait to see more of them. Like before, earlier in the season, my favorite couple was Miles and Bennett, but I think that might be now trumped by Amelia and Bennett. So Miles and Bennett, that little bromance has to move down to number 2. I'm still really looking forward to them being able to see each other again on the honeymoon because yeah, I'm shipping Miles and Bennett all the way to the finish line here, along with Amelia and Bennett. Okay, from there we got brief little check-ins with our other couples. Olivia and Brett, you know, when Olivia's and Brett are together or Brett is just not with other guys, they seem pretty damn good. And I'm just genuinely shocked about that. But the moment that you just get Brett and a guy, terrible. And like those are his brothers. Those aren't just his bros. Those are his brothers. And like they are just awful. And you know that at some point that side of Brett is going to rear its ugly head. And I've just already feel bad for Olivia just knowing that that moment is in her future somewhere. So they seem not too bad as long as they never have to be around other people ever again. Just the two of them and some cats, all good. You know, add other people. You know, that might be the one couple that coronavirus saves the relationship. Like when they go into quarantine and Brett can no longer see any of his brothers or his bros or any of that, that relationship might be good to go. Amani and Woody. My favorite moment for that couple was seeing Woody talk with Amani's dad and stepdad. I just really enjoyed that moment. You know, they really seemed to instantly create a connection. Both of Amani's fathers just seemed very positive about meeting Woody and getting to know him and wanting to be involved in their lives. And I really appreciated that. And that was just another tick up for that couple, another thing that just makes me think that they are gonna work out. Miles and Karen, our most attractive couple of the season. Let's just face it, those two, they're smoking hot. I'm seeing a little bit of chemistry forming there between those two, and interested to see how things develop. You know, by the time we got to the end of the episode and the couple was retiring for the night, Karen seemed genuinely happy to be there with Miles. She seemed happy to be married and that she had Miles just there to rub her feet. So it could have been the foot rub, could have been genuine happiness, but I think that we've already seen a pretty large change in Karen's attitude from pre-wedding to the wedding to now post-wedding, and I hope to see that continue moving forward. So yeah, we've touched base on all 5 of our couples. I don't know if you saw the upcoming preview for the season. Seemed like there was heaps and heaps of negativity. You know, that has to be a little bit of just producer magic to make us really think that, oh, we have to tune in for this drama. But yeah, with everything coming up and, you know, realizing that these relationships and this show is going to veer into COVID, it kind of makes things very interesting, puts a totally different twist on things, because now you're taking couples that not only are just getting married, but are being thrown into global crisis, and that kind of stress would affect any relationship, even magnified further by a brand new, fresh relationship. So we'll have to see how all that plays out. And yeah, I'm interested to find out, as I'm sure all of you are as well. All right, I think that wraps up our episode 3 recap. We'll be back again next week, and until then, we'll see ya.